welcome back to my channel. Okay, so we're going to start off with the top that fits us well. I don't have a long sleeve top, so I have to use a short sleeve tee and then lengthen the sleeves. I'm marking under the arm around like an inch below nipple length, and the nipple height I should say, and then I'm marking the center, and then I'm going to draw a curve going down to where I marked under the arm. Now I'm marking the crop length that I would want it to be, which is higher than the waist. And here I'm making a note of how much I have to bring up at the sides and front of the neckline so it fits closer to my neck. Also measure how long the sleeves need to be from the shoulder point to the wrist. Usually I trace my stuff on soft wood so that I can stick pins in it, but I'm going to use this foam board that I have. You can stick the tacks in it and it works great for tracing out old clothes that you have. It's just a little harder for bigger pieces. So I trace the front and the back of the shirt, and I mark all the markings made on the shirt. Don't forget to bring in the side neck and the front middle neck. Trace the front and the back of the sleeves. If you want a more detailed visual of how to do this, you can check out my 70s ringer tee on my channel somewhere in my videos. Alright? Mark the short sleeve in case you want your top to remain short, but lengthen it using the measurement before and add 3/4 of an inch to the hem. The length of your hem will be the length of your wrist. So my wrist is 6 inches, so at that center point going down, I put 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, and I connect it to the underarm seam right there. Determine the width of the actual turtleneck bit and measure the front and the back neckline right here. So I'm going to put one over the other, and then I'm going to measure it like so. And with the measurement we have, we're going to multiply it by 2 because these are only half pieces of the top. Draw a straight line based on that measurement. Mine is about 6.5, so this would be 13, and going straight up would be 6 inches. So that's 13 right there, and that line will be 6 inches. Half of that line, which is 3, will be the fold line. Now you can leave yours as a simple rectangle, but I like mine to be a bit closer on my neck. So what I do is I cut a slightly bigger rectangle around the little rectangle, and I fold it along the fold line horizontally, and then I fold it in half vertically. Just watch. So it's folded there, and then I just fold it again. So it's like a baby rectangle. And then I draw a diagonal line from the top to the bottom on the outer part. So right here, I think I went in a quarter. And I just drew a line there. So the neckline won't be straight up and down. It'll be more hugging my neck. So it helps it to fit the neck a bit snugger. Then I add seam allowance and transfer everything to fabric. Starting with the basic pattern, I get the front and the back of the shirt, and with right sides facing, I sew the shoulders. When that was done, and with right sides facing again, I matched at the center of the sleeve with the shoulder point and pinned and sewed. And this is how it should look. At this point, I suggest you overlock the bottom of the sleeves if you have an overlock machine. I then pinned and sewed the side seam all the way up the underarm seam to the end of the sleeve, with right sides facing again. And this is how it should look. Then I got the neck piece, I folded it in half vertically and sewed the back shut. So vertically, I pinned it here and then I sewed the edge. Remember, it's at a low diagonal, so remember to sew it with the diagonal in it. And that was done, we turn it inside out and then we fold it in half. So it looks like this. And we're gonna pin the bottom just to make sure that it stays put. So we're gonna pin it like that. And then we're gonna pin it to the neckline, matching up the center back to the center back of the shirt and the center front to the center front of the shirt. Got it? So with right sides facing, we're gonna pin it, put it on the outside of the shirt and pin it around. After this was done, I folded the hems over 3/4 of an inch and I sewed them while stretching them a bit. The pin came out while I was doing it, and so it got off a little wonky. The inside piece is at the center, but this part came off a little bit, so it's important to pin these seams together first before you pin it onto the shirt. And I'm going to do another one so you're going to see. So this is the center back here, and this is the seam, so it came off a little bit, but that's fine. Just wear your hair down. Apache, don't come past the pins. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I serged the bottom here. It came out a little wonky, but now we're going to pin it over like this. Don't worry if it's wonky because it's going to be folded inwards, okay? So pin it over like that. And my seam allowance was 3/4 of an inch. And this is how it should look. And after this, you are done the first shirt.
I just wanna put my arms around you and tell you that I'm sorry. I suppose I could have been there for you when you needed me.
Alright, on to the crop top. I just folded the pattern to the crop line, and I ensured I added seam allowance to the bottom when cutting it out in the fabric. I sewed this the same way that I did the original top before. This fabric was not as stretchy as the solid fabric, and it took all my makeup off when getting it over my head. So I'm going to give this one away and I'm gonna make a new one, but I'm gonna widen the side net and the back net a bit since it's not that stretchy.
You're the coffee that I need in the morning. You're my sunshine in the rain when it's pouring. Won't you give yourself to me? Give it all. I just wanna see. I just want.
Last but not least, the above bust crop. I got the original pattern and I traced out the curve and added seam allowance. Then I cut it out on fabric and I did all the steps from above. I'm using this D-ring here to just add a bit of element to the top. I measured the inner straight part of it and I cut a strip of fabric times 2 by that length and 4 inches long. Then I folded it in half and stitched it, turned it inside out and edge stitched the 2 long ends. And then I found the direct center of the top and placed the majig under it and stitched it in place. Right here, folding it, put the D-ring in the center of the front, stitched it in place, and that is done. When I was finished, I did realize that I didn't film the end part. We only have pictures, so here are some pictures of it. Yay!